How's it going, ladies and bruises? I'm Bobby Sixkilla and welcome back to Sound of Drop. We might be heading towards a bad end right now, but the episode was running on way too long, so I didn't stick it out to see if we were going to hit it, so we're going to find out right now. If it were me, I'd probably see it the same way. Her own death was brought to her attention. Even if she denies it, that may have planted a larger seed. Without treating it as a dream in order to accept it, she may forget who she is altogether. If that's the case, one could probably empathize. Sagi no Mareko didn't just kill the director, but was cruel to Sayo. It was unforgivable for her to resort to violence just because she heard something she didn't like. If one can only come and go on the night of the full moon, then we didn't have much time. Let's go. Go where? Ahead. Sayo-chan, you found the one who murdered your father. You've attained your goal. Is it really okay for you to not go home yet? I still don't have the truth. If I can meet up with people who have died here, then I can definitely see my father. Also, I want to end this world. If this world is supposedly created by malice, then I will help all of those souls to cross over. Help all the souls cross over? Guide the souls here to the heavens. All of them. In other words, I should say farewell to Marty. If Marty's already dead, then at least I want to say goodbye. It might be out of the way for you, Sayo, but will you come with me? It isn't out of the way. I get the feeling that everything is connected. If all the phenomena disappear, then those things inside your friend will probably disappear as well. Yeah, let's solve everything. Then the three of us, Himeno and you, Sayo and I, leave this place. Without even nodding, Sayo stands up. His stance is a firm one. I stand up and clench my fist. What's up? You're headed there. If we'd taken the normal route, we would have ended up on the side with the tunnel tag. But this is the other side, so there's a path connecting to the staff passageway. Before that is my father's room, although by now I'm sure someone else is using it. What Sayo was pointing at is the opposite side of the tank. It's in the direction of where I got lost after entering the staff room from the jellyfish booth. Even without taking the upper path, there seems to be an entrance and exit that you'd never notice if you didn't know about it. If we go that way, we should reach the director's office. If this world was created based on the aquarium of 5 years ago, then the director's office should be my father's room. Got it. If we don't go, we won't know. We don't know what will happen, so don't let your guard down. Right. With the door serving as a boundary, it's like a completely different world. We have no idea what dangers could be lurking within. However, not being alone gives me strength. I felt loneliness so many times over, but I haven't really been alone since I came to Manten Aquarium. Kiyoshi-san and Sayo have both saved me, and Himeno is supporting me from within my heart, so I definitely will not fall apart. My objective is clear, to reunite with Marty, and to say goodbye. I felt like I've accepted this as a fact, but I have no idea how I'll feel on actually seeing Marty's face. Even so, I keep telling myself that I cannot run away. Then we'll go get Himeno. Sayo was the one who said back at the stage that it's because we're in Manten Aquarium that the parasites are overrunning her body and weakening her. But like Sayo said before, if we erase this alternate universe, Himeno should also be cured. It's all starting to come together. Don't space out. Let's go. It's alright. I was just thinking a bit. Even as I say that, I'm in denial. Just thinking won't change anything. Right now, there's nothing to do but keep going. As I follow Sayo, I enter a narrow passageway. Maybe we're not going to go to a dead end. It felt like we might have ended up at a dead end. I thought going with Kenji might have been the way to go, but maybe this is the way to go. We're standing before the door of the director's office, not having encountered any particular strange phenomenon. Near the director's office is a reference room and a storeroom, but we decide not to investigate those places. We don't want to invite any unnecessary danger. The design on the imposing door seems very different from what I've seen in Manten Aquarium so far. Coming this far and having nothing happen feels a bit unnatural. Mulling it over will change nothing. On the other side of this door, something unimaginably horrible might happen. Don't let your guard down. I know that. I'm not going to get careless or anything. I see Sayo put her hand on the door, so I put my hand on it as well. Let's go. Using those words as a signal, we both put all our strength into opening the door at the same time. What's going on here? Those first words said upon entering the dim room echo in a hollow manner. Papa's room? Sayo's words are cut off there. I think it would be most accurate to say the room is ruined. The antique furniture in the room is not merely old, but in ruins. The deterioration of the floor and ceiling is visible, and the time frame of when it was destroyed also seems strange. I've seen Manten Aquarium in so many different circumstances, but this room seems to be far from the most distant time period. It's bizarre. As I take a step in, I kick up dust. While it is by no means a large room, it's so cloaked in darkness that I can't see to the centre. Sayu's mouth becomes a straight line, and it seems that she doesn't mind the dust. She said this was her father's room. Seeing this room looking like ancient ruins, it's stranger to me that she isn't shaken. Sayu's serious expression seems to be pushing back her sadness and pain. Where's Papa? If he really is a vengeful spirit, then he should be here. Sayu's father, the murdered director, may have been the genesis of this Manten Aquarium's creator. The theory seems very likely. After all, it was written in the staff member's diary that the strange phenomenon began immediately after the director's death. However, there is no reply. I step further inside, standing at Sayu's side. Look, on top of the desk, there's something there. It's a magnificent desk, like those found in the studies of rich people I've seen on TV, but the dark brown wood has lost its luster, and here and there are cracks that catch the eye. On that desk, What happened? Uh-oh. A hand. On top of the desk is a hand. But this isn't just a hand. That hand connects to a wrist, which connects to an arm. The hand bone connects to the wrist bone. And the body that connects to his... No, why? Before I know, I fall into the ground. Hearing me shout, Sayu eyes me suspiciously. Eyes at Kenji. Sayu doesn't seem to have noticed what I'm looking at. Kenji-san. My right hand is shaking. My trembling fingertip points to the object on top of the desk. The fact that they won't stop shaking is not the problem. So, I guess going with Kenji would have got me killed then. Just turning my head isn't easily enough to make me have to directly confront this phenomenon. A corpse. Sayu steps in front of the lifeless body of Kenji-san that leans on the desk without moving, a thin voice slipping from her lips. No, why? I've completely lost my ability to think, much less speak coherently. Seeing the flesh of the felled Kenji-san before my eyes, my thoughts seem to have left me. Why is he dead? The fact that I don't even consider whether he could be saved or not leads me to doubt myself. Kenji-san's flesh has lost its vitality. That it won't move again is a thought that I can't seem to accept. The silence of death. It reminds me of the quiet of a relative's body being before me at a funeral. No. In contrast to me having slid to the ground and shaking, Sayu moves closer to the body. She puts her hand on his back, and then her ear close to his mouth. In my mind, I can't grasp what she's doing, I merely reject it. However, Sayu merely answers coldly. He's dead, no mistake about it. This is terrible, it's Kenji-san. Rather than screaming, we have to figure out how and why he died. If it's due to a phenomenon, you and I might be pulled in as well. He's not bleeding, so it may have been poison. How can you be so calm, Sayu? I cover my face at this point. I don't want to face the truth of an acquaintance's death head on. As usual, Sayu continues with disinterest. This guy isn't an acquaintance of mine. He did save your life. Our objective is to get out of here with Himeno. I have no time to worry about mourning the death of someone I didn't know. I find that to be my most prudent decision. Saginu Mareiko. The preceding footsteps echo through the whole room. Why are you here? Are your injuries alright now, Sayu-chan? Shut up. Stay away. That manner of speaking is unappealing. The footsteps reach the side of the desk and stop. Stay away. Should I? After all, lifting my face to look at her, I see Saginu Mareiko and... Marty? Marty is next to Saginu Mareiko, a frightened expression on her face. On the other hand, Saginu Mareiko is smiling. The two of them are horribly mismatched. There is a cruelty to her, like someone forcing a shy child in front of a crowd of strangers. I propel my body into a standing position and take a step in Saginu Mareiko's direction. My feelings leading the charge, my legs become entangled and I topple over on the spot. Immediately after, something crashes hard into my shoulder. Saginu Mareiko is kicking at my shoulder with the pointed tip of her heel. Big sis? It's as if Marty's fear and the confusion resulting from my uncertainty about what I should do are mixing together. Having her look down at me after I lost my balance is making my vision swim. Oh, you needn't pity her. Please let Marty go. I raise my voice, but Saginu Mareiko merely continues to smile. Oh, Marty-chan chose to be with me, Saginu Mareko says in that sticky tone of hers. Marty says nothing to refute this. She merely turns her unstable eyes my way. Mayumi, something's not right. Sayu reaches out a hand to pull me up. As I take her hand, Sayu pulls me up toward her with a jerk. We move away from the desk with Kenji's body on top of it and go almost diagonally across the room. Marty, if you're afraid, come over here. I turn to Marty and say, it isn't as if Saginu Mareko is controlling Marty merely by putting her hand on her shoulder. I won't go. Marty, that lady, she's a bad person. Come here. I won't go. I won't go. Marty seems to be nothing short of terrified as her words grow stronger. Marty shakes her head and turns me down. Something's definitely not right. Sayu says this as she cuts in between us. Glaring at Saginu Mareko, she continues in a forceful tone. You, what did you do to Mayumi's little sister? Moreover, what's with this body, this room? You came here because you know. You need to use the proper tone when asking someone something, Sayu-chan. You know that, don't you? Shut up. Answer me. And you were such an earnest child when you were little. Whatever happened to you? Got a little rough around the edges after your father died, did you? What did you say? Sayu, calm down. This woman's also acting strange. Already being dead, this woman should be cut off from the flow of time. In spite of that, she seems to obtain some growth. She's aware of the director's death. There's something inconsistent about Saginu Mareko. She's trying to make us mad. Don't let her drag you along. Now that Sayu's worked up, I'm the one who's gotten calm. I grip Sayu's wrist and give her a firm squeeze. I wanted to know she isn't alone. What are you gonna do, Marty? I came here to see her. I won't allow you to cause her harm. You won't allow me? Then what do you intend to do? There's two of us. We'll come at you with all we've got. Right now, Sayu's with me. As I say this, Sayu glances at me and nods in agreement. Oh my, how scary. But no need to worry. Since Marty-chan has chosen to be with me of her own free will, I have no intention of doing anything to her. Quite the contrary, actually. From here on out, you could say that Marty-chan will be doing the meddling here in Manten Aquarium. What do you mean by that? Saginu Mareko laughs with a sly hee, and without even answering my question starts talking again. You two have experienced this room, know this aquarium's puzzle. You've also experienced the way that this place changes once you go through a door. This is a world full of possibilities. It is a world that contains, within it, the past, present, and future. Possibilities? I understand about the souvenir shop from the past and the old staff room, but the future? It wouldn't make sense for things that never happened get to take place here. That's not all. The phenomena that have been happening here are things that should never have been possible. The Fish of the World booth with fish corpses scattered about, the jellyfish booth, where the glass is suddenly shattered. Those are what one might call possibilities that shouldn't have happened. It's a construct decided on by humans that time only proceeds in one direction. I wonder if you can comprehend that it isn't the truth. No matter how much we look at her with doubt in our eyes, she merely looks back with a wicked smile. This world known as Manten Aquarium is made up of numerous souls of living things that perished along with the director. This story, you heard it from Kenji-san, didn't you? How did you... The form of energy we know as souls give this place its shape, though strictly speaking they aren't living. Souls possess a fluidity and directionality to them that makes the living thing the closest way to describe them. Do you understand? She seems to be toying with us and watching for our reactions. However, what she's saying seems to be the truth, so we listen intently. It's missing the exaggeration that would seem like a lie. After a pause, Saginu Mareko pats Marty on the head. Even when our eyes meet, Marty's expression doesn't change, her mouth shut tight. It's just that Marty's eyes seem to be rejecting me when I call out to her. Entities that have become spirits are not bound by time, demonstrating the possibility to pursue their own directionality. So in this world, those that tried to kill you did so to try and pull in your souls. Wait a minute, wasn't this world created by my father's hatred for you? At that moment it was created, yes, the director's malice guided the souls of those creatures, and they created this place, but now things are different. In trying to steal energy from the outside world to maintain this place, the world's directive has switched to maintenance. The souls now bear only a grudge and their curse, having changed into creatures that seek only this place's preservation. I suppose you understand what that means, don't you? You mean Sakuragi Asawa's no longer here? Not even a spirit? You've finally gotten skilled at making inferences, haven't you? But it's pitiful. Speaking in mathematical terms, It's not that your solution is insufficient, just that your calculations were off, so your answer is wrong. You're going in circles, come on! For Saya, it was the fact that she had to hear. If the truth we arrived at doesn't exist, then he merely exists without the shell of an individual body. This Manten Aquarium is like a pool of souls that have lost their individuality. Then why are you here? There's no mistaking that you're Sagi no Mareiko, right? There are 2 reasons, you know. Because I was guided here by you. She pats Marty's head. When Marty is touched by Sagi no Mareiko, she closes her eyes for a moment. There's definitely another side to this. As this thought crosses my mind, I wait for her to continue. And because of my hatred, I want to remain Sagi no Mareiko. I'm doing this of my own will, big sister. As time passes this way, Marty-chan will become one with us, and will be sublimated into a general concept. Can you stand the thought of her becoming a mere idea? A concept? What exactly do you mean by that? What does that mean? I wonder. Since it's already a used up possibility, there's no need for you to know. Used up? What do you mean? It's toppled over there before you. A tool that person tried to use. You mean Kenji-san? He is Kenji-kun, but he is no longer Kenji-kun. He is merely the living flesh that Sakuragi Isao used in order to interact with the physical world. To make it easy to understand, shall we say that he hijacked this body? But in trying to forcibly pull away one of the souls, Kenji-kun's soul itself disappeared. Thanks to his disappearance, we were able to seize control of this world called Manten Aquarium. I have to thank him. My papa did? You just said something about losing one's individuality. He was both an individual and part of the whole. He was an existence that was Sakuragi Isao, and that was Manten Aquarium. He apparently never understood it. I thought he was a little more clever than that, though. Sagi no Mareiko casts a sidelong glance in the direction of Kenji-san's body, then gives a daring smile. I can barely understand anything she's saying. Individuals in the whole? I don't get it at all. It might be something living beings like us are unable to comprehend. It's just that in all of that, there is one question that's beginning to come into focus. Did you kill Kenji-san? Are you saying you killed Papa twice? That high-pitched laughter is growing gradually louder. Sayu knits her brow together and glares at Sagi no Mareiko. I do the same. The laughter echoing throughout the room serves as our confirmation. We still don't know how or why she's doing this. We also don't know her motive for doing so. That's the same thing. But Sagi no Mareiko, she killed both Kenji-san and the director. Marty, you have to get away from that woman. She's a murderer. Not so funny. I won't forgive you leaving Kenji-san in that state as you continue to laugh about it. Big sis. Or maybe Marty-chan should laugh too. Please stop this. Marty, come over here. That woman. It's not good for you to stand by someone as bad as her. Sakuragi Isao, who used Kenji-kun's body, killed many people to preserve this world called Manten Aquarium. Are you saying it's bad to erase such evil? Of course. Mayumi, that's enough. We don't have time to deal with her. Papa was this place's core. Having lost its core, this place should disappear. You need to say farewell to Marty, and we need to escape with that Himeno girl. But, that's right, how about you finally realize the mistake you've made? Seeing Sayu pull on my arm, Sagi no Mareiko says this to grab her attention. Her expression unchanging, a wicked smile appears on her face. She said you're bad, Marty-chan. What are you? The one Kenji-kun, Sakuragi Isao, killed was Marty-chan. Huh? Mayumi, don't be deceived. Sayu-chan, you've realized the cause of Kenji-san's death, haven't you? Since there are no external wounds, you figured that it might be poison. But did you really figure it out? There's no change to his lips or eyeballs or even his internal organs. There's no swelling or inflammation anywhere on him. Poison wouldn't be able to kill someone like that. Stop this. You listened to a part of my story, then made a guess, didn't you? That's why you hurried me on. No, that's not it. The soul itself was obliterated. It was completely removed from this existence known as Manten Aquarium. That's not something humans can handle, is it? But you're already dead? You've already become a ghost. Is that why you can drain away someone's life energy? It's possible for humans unified with the aquarium, isn't it? I was once the individual known as Sagi no Mareiko. Then Marty should be the same. She is not. My soul is a mixture of emotions. Hatred towards the director, anxiety over the fear of the aquarium disappearing, rage at being killed. All of them negative emotions. With all of these examples, my grudge. like all of the souls in Manten Aquarium, is red in colour. Marty-chan is different. This girl's soul is pure, the same colour as water. The true meaning of this is that she won't melt into the existence known as Manten Aquarium, although she is a part of the world known as Manten Aquarium. If you can become self-aware, you can take control of the power that is Manten Aquarium. It's a different concept from the start. It's no exaggeration to say that Marty-chan can cause any of the things that could possibly happen in this closed-off world. Even though you say that, there's no way that Marty could kill or erase anybody. I told you, in order for you to return from this aquarium safely, you'll have to end this world once and for all. To do that, you would have had to remove the director's soul anyway. And if Manten Aquarium is under Marty-chan's control, supplies itself with more bodies, she can meddle in the real world just as the director did, just as I told you. You understand what that means, don't you? That we have to get rid of Marty-chan's soul, yes. Marty can come back? Mayumi? But that's more bodies, it's not like those will just appear when she needs one. If Kenji-san was used as the director's tool, then that means people who are uninvolved in this case will... If someone else is sacrificed, Marty can come back. I think about how I want to see Marty. I love Marty. But this is obviously not a good thing to do. Right? Alright, we'll get the bad end. As a sister, I can't leave this as is. She's my little sister, I can't overlook such a thing. No, it's because she's my little sister, I can't overlook it. I look into Marty's face. I have no idea what kind of face I'm making myself. You can't do that, Marty. But I want to be with you, big sister. But that way is unacceptable. I avert my gaze from Marty. I can't look at her face anymore. My emotions and my sense of logic are at war. There's an internal struggle as I try to hold on to my sense of ethics. Feelings that I know are wrong are raging within me. I want to be with her forever. But that's not a good way to go about it. I don't want to say goodbye here either. This is reality, but I thought that you would be happy, big sister. There's no way I could be. The reason I screamed out like that is merely to alleviate some of those emotions. Big sis. No, that wasn't what I... So you've rejected her, your own sister. Saginu Mareiko runs her hand along Marty's shoulders, then brings it back to her side. Marty opens her eyes wide, a terrified expression on her face. Shut up, it's obvious that nothing will come from such a decision. Marty crumples over, falling to her knees on the spot. Marty? It's you who's been rejected, isn't it? Faltering at Saginu Mareiko's provocative words, I stop moving for a moment. In that moment, the entire director's office seems to begin pulsing. A blue light begins to flow out from the tank. Oh, we are so dead. Right? The room is being repaired. As the room is enveloped in light, the damage fades away. Instantly, the director's office changes form into a clean room, with no ruin or deterioration. That's fine. All of this power, I will gather it here. It doesn't end with the blue light flowing into the room. What? There's some sort of projection within the light. Just as Sayu said, something is faintly being projected within the blue light. Gradually, the contours come into focus, revealing it to be Manten East building. This is... The blue light that has filled the room is reminiscent of a movie projection screen. After 1 minute passes, what's being projected becomes clear beyond a shadow of a doubt. Himeno and I are shopping inside the Manten East building. We both look like we're having fun. What we're looking at appears to be a recorded video, however, the version of myself shown in the video is unfamiliar to me. What you're looking at is one possibility. It's a possible future. Marty-chan, you should understand. Saginu Mareiko shouts toward Marty in a loud voice. You've been rejected. Your big sister chose not you, Marty-chan, but a future with a friend. Marty-chan, you've been cast aside. Well, you're messing with that girl's head. Shit's about to go pear-shaped, I think. As it does. The video is showing other images of us. Now, mixed in with those images are things I actually did experience. All of them are possibilities. But what Saginu Mareiko is saying is wrong. That's not true. There's no way it could be true. I would never toss Marty aside. I just What are you trying to do by making excuses within this footage? Marty-chan is nowhere to be seen. But you're smiling like you're having such a good time. Me too. Why? Footage of Sayu hanging out with us is also being shown. There are also images of her chatting happily with a girl I don't know. This version of me is... I don't know. This is wrong, Marty. It is. I don't want to hear it. That's a lie. Even as I shout out to her, there's no way it'll reach Marty. I've already been rejected by Marty. Nakanobe Marty is not needed in the life of Nakanobe Mayu. Even if you're not there, this is all your sister needs in her future to keep a smile on her face. The images are shooting by too fast now. There's too much to take in, and it's all become impossible to pick up on. But Marty is no longer looking at the future displayed before us. She's not looking at anything at all. If you want your sister to need you, you already know what you have to do, don't you, Marty-chan? Marty, you don't have to do anything. I gather myself and rush to Marty's side. There's nothing Saginu Mareiko can say now that will make me falter. Marty! But when I reach out my hand to Marty, something gets in my way. It feels as if I've been thrust back hard by somebody. Now at that moment I'm sure that I was thrown back by something. Marty still isn't looking at me. The projection has already disappeared and the light enveloping the room has gradually become red. It's a deep red, just like blood. It's getting red. It feels like something's about to happen. At Sayu's words, my own sense of weariness grows stronger. However, I have to tell Marty. I have to get her to understand, because there's no way I could ever not need Marty. Now erase Sakuragi Sayo, once and for all, if you want to have your sister all to yourself. No! Marty looks at Sayo with her eyes open wide. That's something that tossed me back will now probably attack Sayo, to erase Sayo, and to tempt Marty into doing so. That's absolutely unforgivable. Saying this, I step in between Marty and Sayo, and spread both my hands out wide. An imposing stance. No matter what happens, I won't take my eyes off Marty. With that as my intent, I continue watching her. After some time passes, there's no change. A slight silence flows through this world enveloped in red. The one who finally opens her mouth is Marty. So I guess no one needs me after all. Marty's voice is so discouraged, it seems as if it'll sink into the depths of my ears. It's the first time I've ever heard such a voice. Before Marty's words completely vanish from this room, I cry out. That's not true. Liar! Along with his strong words, a purple light begins to swirl around Marty. Mayumi, you need to run. I can't. I can't leave Marty behind. As if trying to match the appearance of the light, the room begins to vibrate. I lose my balance, but grab onto the desk to keep myself standing. Marty, are you doing this? That lady told me so. She said you don't need me, big sister. Hey, listen to what I'm telling you. That's not what I'm thinking at all. In 5 years, you never came to look for me, big sister. I couldn't. I was too afraid to confirm that you were really gone. I have you all to myself. I'll have you all to myself. I want to be together with you forever. She said this is the only way I could do it. After Marty's words, it's Saginu Mareiko's sticky voice that takes over. It's beginning now. This world is being reconstructed. I can't move. She clicks her tongue after those short words. Sayu's harsh stare is being returned by both Marty and Saginu Mareiko. The room shaking immediately becomes stronger. Just keeping myself standing is taking all I have. The violet light with Marty at its center grows even more intense. The strikingly colored light makes keeping my eyes open painful. I can't take it anymore. I think those words are my final chance. Huh? What is this? This sensation? I can't see anything. Thanks to a violent shock from the striking light, I shut my eyes and collapse onto the ground. The next moment I lose my sense of equilibrium. Which is up and which is down. At the moment I lose any sense of direction, my consciousness sinks into the sea. Are we dead? The sound of my alarm clock is a little delayed, but I open my eyes. I open my eyes to a piercing light. I sit up, my body feeling so heavy, it's as if I haven't truly woken up yet. I'm on top of a bed I bought recently. Looking over at the hardcover book at my bedside, I remember that I fell asleep reading it. I believed that it was a murder mystery, but seeing as how I was half asleep while reading it, I don't really remember. Since the ribbon is dangling freely from the book, it seems that I fell asleep without setting the bookmark. Ugh. My voice comes out a mixture of a sigh and a yawn. I have school again today. I'll change into my school uniform and head for the kitchen table on the first floor. What's happening? Why aren't we in the place anymore? I am Nakanobe Mayumi. You could say I'm a typical third-year junior high student. My hobbies are reading and watching TV and movies. I like fashion, but I'm on a fixed allowance, so I can't buy much. Good morning. I live in a 3-story house where the first floor is the living room and kitchen, the second floor is my parents' room, and the third floor is the kids' room. Ah, big sister, you're already running late. Make sure you wash your face. I did, are we having salmon for breakfast today? Our parents are... That's right, they get up early for work in the morning and come home late at night. That's why my morning routine is to eat the breakfast that Marty makes. I'm the older one, but Marty's cooking skills are light years ahead of mine. Especially, my specialty is eating. Big sister, the first thing you say is always, what's for breakfast, isn't it? I see something a little different today. Marty goes to the same school as I do. She's 1 grade below me, but she's just a little taller than I am. Okay. It's almost done. By the way, your prediction was right, big sis. Marty sets food on the table, in the way that she's become accustomed to, setting down the salmon grilled with salt, pickled vegetables, mekabu, and miso soup. Meanwhile, I dish out rice from the rice cooker and set it on the table, along with chopsticks. Bon appetit! Yeah, eat up. By the way, a midterm exam result came in today. How depressing. Yeah, let's not talk about that. Big sister, just mentioning the word test to you is bad, isn't it? Don't say it's bad, jeez. Although, during the real thing, I read some of the questions and passages wrong, and made a lot of calculation errors. In terms of grades, Marty is better than mine. Sometimes we study together and our comprehension is about the same. I'm chalking it up to our difference in grade level and scope of classwork. In other words, the difference is definitely in the difficulty of the real tests. I kind of seem to master doing good when it counts. After the summer you have entrance exams, don't you? Let's talk about even less about that. My head's full enough with all this stuff about midterms. Make sure you pick a high school we can both go to. It doesn't matter. I can't make it into private school, even though Mitsubi uniforms are so cute. We chat away lightly as time passes at the breakfast table, listening to the news floating from the TV that was left on. We both get ready for school. Our lunches will be leftovers from last night, but boiled and stewed foods that I have set overnight are more permeated with flavour, making them delicious. Yeah man, leftovers are way better than the originals. Okay, let's go big sis. Okay. Alright, we need to wrap this one up because we're out of time for today. I feel like there's going to be at least another half hour to go before we hit the next ending. But somehow we managed to dodge all the bad endings there. I don't know how, but cool. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Thanks again out with me, and I'll see you in the next one.